Hey, everybody. Oh my God. I don't even know what's going on. Lord have mercy. Jesus, help me, God. Can y'all hear me now? I don't even know what my camera's doing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Y'all, I don't know what this thing is doing with my camera. Hold on, y'all. I got to change. Oh my God. I feel like I look filtered because of the lighting, but it is what it is, you guys. Sometimes I'll tell you guys, I don't want to, I literally can't. I can't. Oh my gosh. I'm just irritated. Okay. All right, guys. What's up, everybody? I'm trying to mentally get my head together. I apologize. It's been a little, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with my equipment. I'm just thinking that right now it's like I don't know what's going on with my computer, y'all. I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna try to get back into a space. Yes, it's been a hell of a week. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a hell of a week. I'm not even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't gonna make it seem like it's not. It's been a hell of a week. It's been a hell of a week. I'm trying to give you guys the best energy because at the end of the day, I'm here and you didn't do anything to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is on me. Like, this is just what life is right now. So, just been a hell of a week. It really has. Whew, Jesus help me, God. Okay. So anyway, guys, we are here. Again, it's your girl, Samantha Lee. I apologize, you guys. I've been dealing with technology issues all day. This week I've recorded things on this particular platform and it hasn't come through. You guys, does my picture look like weird to you? Like, it looks like super shiny. Like, do I look weird? Do I look weird? Like, it looks like super, I don't know if I like it. Like, I don't know if I like the way I look right now. I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying. But anyway, regardless, I'm here and I promise you guys I'm gonna be here. So I'm here. And so I am here. And I'm gonna do the best that I can absolutely do. Because this is not on y'all. This is just, it's on life. So anyway, I'm here. So again, my name is Samantha Lee. If you guys don't know already, I come on here, I don't know, once every week, every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so I come on here, I talk about different topics that you guys have. And so y'all, I'm gonna jump in and jump out because I don't like I look shiny. I'm gonna be right back, y'all, because this is crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Somebody need to rebuke some spirits, y'all. I need to rebuke and bind in the name of Jesus. I don't know what's going on, family. What is happening? But we gonna get into it, okay? I'm gonna give you guys the best I got. What's that song? Giving you the best that I got, baby. Sean, today ain't the day, Sean. Today ain't the day, beloved. I feel like I look more normal. I looked way more like they were doing like a filter on my face or something. Like I didn't like it. I now don't have a filter on my face. The other one looked like a filter. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm picky. You guys will talk to me all day. Oh, Sam, you got a filter. You got a filter. Well, I don't want a filter on YouTube. Okay. And it look kind of filterish. All right. I'm just trying to give y'all the real. All right. I don't need y'all to be all, whatever. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I have my little coconut oil going on. So anyway, back to the topic at hand. I am Love Samantha Lee. I am here every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm here to deliver a message every single week. And I love to have conversation with you guys. I absolutely enjoy it. And so I thank you guys for always showing up for me, always supporting me. I thank you guys for the cash apps. You guys have been sending me cash apps and supporting me. And I truly believe, I like the super chats, all of that. I just feel absolutely blessed. Y'all don't even understand like how blessed I feel just to have you guys. And as we're trying to journey back into a normal rhythm with this thing, I just thank you guys for just continuing to support me, continuing to have my back, and showing up for me, even when there's times where it's hard for me to show up. So I thank you guys regardless. Next Wednesday, I will not have a show. I am doing Wednesday night, I won't be able to do a show. I will be traveling. I have a big project at my job that I am leading, which is part of my stress. So you guys, just if you can keep your prayers up for me. I'm trying to hit it out the park. It's been a part of my stress. So please keep your girl in your prayers. I want it to be the best situation that my job has ever seen. And I think it's making me physically sick. So I apologize. But anyway, so I am here tonight, you guys, and I'm talking about boundaries versus controlling. The numbers are a little down. So I'm going to jump on my IG to send some motivation. And that's so weird because I definitely feel like I promoted this live, but I think it's because I had all these technical difficulties. First, the camera wasn't working. So I don't like that. I don't know. I think I'm just picky today. I'm just picky. I don't know what it is. But yeah, it's just probably the mood. But anyway, guys, I had such a great day too, you guys. I surprised somebody with something. Okay, so it is what it is. All right. So anyway, yeah. So we are all the numbers you need. No, you're right, Sean. You're right. But anyway, guys, so I've been doing my thing. So I've been working a lot. So next week, Wednesday night, I will not be going live. I will be, traveling on these roads. Pray for your girl because I'll be traveling. But you know what, guys, I'm actually really excited about traveling because I'll be traveling to go to my old school, y'all. I get to visit UG of A. I'm so excited, y'all. I haven't been to UGA in oh my gosh, I don't even know how long. I'm so excited to go back. I'm so excited. I'm pretending to be a college student, y'all. I'm pretending I'm 22 again. I want to be 22 again. That's what I want to be, family. I want to be 22 again. So anyway, I won't be live next week. But tonight, you guys, if you are on my Instagram, go ahead and head over to my U of Tube. We are going in and we're talking about boundaries versus controlling. Okay, so I don't want you guys to miss it. I'm going live right now on YouTube, and I don't want you to miss it. Come on over. I just did a dance, y'all. Come on over, baby. So anyway, guys, come on over to the U of Tube. Come visit your girl over here. We're going to have some fun tonight. All right, you guys. I'm going to turn off the sound now, but just tell everybody in the chat I'm going over to the U of Tube. Okay, go on over to U of Tube. I'm turning off the mute because you got to come over here to watch me on YouTube. All right, you just come on over. Okay. So I'm going to pin, and that's pin. All right. So anyway, guys, the whole point of I look 19. I don't look like no daggone 19. Listen, I'm gonna be acting, y'all don't know. I'm gonna go up in that school and I'm gonna pretend I don't know. I'm gonna pretend like I'm 22. That's definitely my thing. So anyway, guys, it made me really happy to think about that. But yes, I won't be here next week. So you will miss me on the YouTube. But yeah, so that's that. But I will say to you guys that I'm excited for our week. Oh, thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Daryl. Oh, that's so sweet. I love Mariah Carey. Y'all, and somebody on here is sending me cash apps and like sexting me. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's really happening. People are sending me money and telling me what they want to do to me. Okay, like I don't know what's happening. So I'm not liking the cash app because I don't like it. Okay, but I appreciate you sewing into me, and I guess having your version of texting or sexting me. I guess. But thank you guys for supporting me regardless. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Listen, if that's what it was, float your boat. You want to send me money and tell me what you want to do to me? Okay. All right. Well, that's what you want to do. Okay. Let it do it. But listen. I appreciate the support regardless. So today, y'all, we're talking about boundaries versus controlling. I've had a lot of questions about this, and I feel like people get a bad rap. People are saying different things like, oh, what is it called? I think he's controlling because he won't let me do this, or he has a problem when I do that, or whatever. And I feel like for me, in my opinion, right? I think that we have to be careful about throwing our labels around, right? Because it's dangerous. One of the biggest labels that I see a lot as a therapist that really bothers me is narcissist. Okay. People can have narcissistic tendencies and not be a narcissist. Somebody can love bomb and not be a narcissist, right? Narcissist is not everybody that gaslights is a narcissist. Not everybody that, I'm trying to think, discards you as a narcissist. That's not we cannot, not everybody that cheats is a narcissist. We can't throw around these words, and nobody that is diagnosing people, it has any accreditation to do so. It bothers me, okay, because it's irresponsible. A quick story is when I worked into I was a mental health therapist for a jail and prison system. All right, I've worked all levels of DFACS, social work. So I've done DFACS, Department of Family and Children Services. I've done sexual assault. I've done domestic violence. I've done sex trafficking. I've done jail and prison social work. So I've done probably all levels of ground level social worker stuff. Okay. And one of those things was working in jail prison. And what I found was that they would throw diagnoses on people. And it bothers me because a lot of times, we're always throwing a pill at things because we've taught our society that any feeling that isn't happy is a bad feeling. When it's okay sometimes to feel anxious. When it's okay sometimes to feel sad. When it's okay sometimes to deal with just negative emotions. It's okay. But we've conditioned our world, and we've conditioned our next generation of children to be hypersensitive to any type of emotion that might be negative. And I think that's wrong. And part of that is putting, the popular notion of diagnosing yourself, which I really have a problem with. Okay. Because I can Google right now and say, what's going on? What's wrong? Why is my back itchy? And Google can probably give me 17 different reasons why my back is itchy. And based upon how I view the world and how I perceive myself, I could then say, go to the worst, possible conclusion as to why my back is itchy and run around saying that that's the problem without ever seeing a doctor. That's dangerous, family. We can't just go around reading diagnoses, deciding that we're smart enough and we're so perceptive that we would know what's wrong with us. Sometimes it's not true. It's just not. Okay? And so, yes, you may be around somebody, and I even have a tendency to do so as well, where I'm saying to somebody, you know what? That right there, that looks a little bit like bipolar. That right there sounds a little bit like schizophrenia. You might say those things, but a lot of times we're misdiagnosing things because we have no idea what they are, right? And so I am not like, I'm not one to be throwing out labels. I know what it sounds like. I know what you think it looks like, but sometimes we don't even know what we're seeing. All right, known unknown, shout out to you for the super sticker. Thank you so much for your support, your love. It means the world to me. I cannot express, like, literally my heart is like overflowing. Thank you guys, Daryl, known unknown, for just like gave me just made me feel better about being on here, to be honest. That you guys are liking enough of what I'm putting out to the universe tonight that you can support me. So I appreciate it. Very humbled. Thank you. Anyway, so yes, even doctors can misdiagnose you. I'll be honest with you, Lanaya, and this might be a little controversial, but I'm not trying to be super controversial. But I think that, with the medication industry today and the kickbacks that people get for prescribing certain medications, and we're just seeing anything that looks a little bit abnormal, right? Just a little bit abnormal. We then put it into a category of abnormal and calling it this or calling it that. Like, your child has ADHD because that child has a lot of energy, or because of this, because that. Now, there are some children that it's real, but not every child is being diagnosed with this. It's real. Okay. So I am always, if someone is giving your child a label, definitely go to a couple of doctors. Don't just settle with one, unless you know deep down, like, there's something abnormal going on. Then yes, okay. But if you feel like there's just certain, I'm not saying every case is this, but I do see that there's a lot of labeling, and I don't like it. Okay. I don't like it. I don't like it. So in addition to all that I'm saying, is that with the narcissist situation, everybody's a narcissist. Everybody's toxic. Everybody's destructive. Oh, you're just trying to control me because you don't want me to go outside. Like, whatever that might be. No, your man don't want you out in these streets at midnight, or he don't want you in the club like that drinking, because he know what happens when you get a little alcohol in your system. Yes, there's room for concern. And do I think that you should have freedom in your relationships? Absolutely. But there is a certain level where we cannot just continue to throw out labels on somebody just because you don't like what they're saying. It's irresponsible. I'm not going to sit here because I had a bad, past relationship or whatever that may be. I'm not going to say, oh, he's a this or he's a that. Now, there are certain things that a diagnosis was given. But it's irresponsible for me to throw a label. Irresponsible for me to throw a label just because I'm hurting. Somebody can be gaslighting you when they're not a narcissist. People do what works. Guess what, ladies? Guess what, gentlemen? Love bombing works. It works. Have you ever seen the show? I've talked about it before, F-Boy Island. Every F-boy love bomb. Every single one. Every single one. Why? Because it works. Women fall in love with what they hear. Men fall in love with what they see. It works. People do what works. If I do something and I'm rewarded, which is behavioralism, you guys. Behaviorism is I do something and I'm reinforced by what I get from it. And I can get positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, or punishment. Right? And so because I'm getting positive reinforcement by doing this particular activity, I'm more likely to continue to do it until it stops being positive for me. Right? So we can't continue to just out here just, throw labels, because again, it's irresponsible. It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible. And the thing is, y'all, I was talking to a young man. He was talking to me about a situation where he was dealing with some girl, and she was a little bit older than him. And let me young men write me a lot. They want to know about older women, whatever. Let me tell you something about an older woman. This is just free game before I even get into the meat of the message. Let me tell you about an older woman. Older women, I will always be cautioned about a woman who is older dating somebody significantly younger. Always throw caution to the wind. Because they know the game. They know what a young man or any man really wants. It's easier to not always. I'm not saying always. But when we're talking about under 25, and a woman is over 25, going in 25, 30, 35, 40, and dealing with a significantly younger, to me, it's a little, we know the game. We have experience. That's why, you want to play for me, where I'm at in my life, I want to play with somebody in the same pond as me. I want to play with the same type of fish. I want to swim with them, because I think that, when we go younger, it's harder. They just experience, their experiences are different than ours. Right. And so I say that to say, I told this young man, he saw her and everything like that. And she was as soon as he pulled up, she was wearing some lingerie. She was sweet. She was peaceful. She pretended, I'm not saying pretend, excuse me, but she was, working, and she's ambitious, but she knew, like she kind of played the role of like wifey for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Really made it peaceful, and the environment was just conducive to, feeling at home and everything like that. Y'all, that's a game, baby. That's a game. If a woman barely know you and she playing wife to you, that's a game. That's a game. That is love bombing. Okay? I don't know you to play your wife. I'm not going to sit here and play wifey for the weekend. And an older man who's a little bit more experienced is going to be like, okay, well, that was nice. He's going to be able to differentiate it because he's older. He done already been there before. He already done played this game before. So he's like, oh, okay. She going to cook me some food or whatnot. But, little does she know, when she leaves, somebody else is coming through. So a man that's older is going to take that advantage of that. That's why when these young women be saying they playing older men, I'm like, I don't care what you say. There's no game you could play on an older man that hasn't seen all the tricks. He done seen every single trick you could think of. He's just okay with playing those games with you. Okay, he's just okay with it. But there's nothing that you could do that he hasn't seen. All right. So that's why I say, well, thank you, my I am. Keep going, Sam. The real ones see you don't get discouraged. What is for you is for you. It will naturally gravitate to you. Thank you, I am. I like that. Thank you. Keep going, Sam. The real ones see. I love that. Thank you. Y'all clap it up for the me, I am. I appreciate you. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You don't want to, if you, because I have a lot of younger men that want to date older women. I'm letting you know now. The game, some women also love bomb. They love bomb differently. They give you the wife experience. I'm ambitious. They say everything a man want to hear. She's ambitious, but she's feminine, but she's peaceful, but she's this, but she's that. You know, oh, you know, and she's gonna be super sexual. Okay, because that's men, whether you realize it or not, a good sexual experience can get the best of us, even men. All right. So I'm saying again, you guys have to pay attention. Urban Law says, Sam, my grandson love you. Really? How old's your grandson? How old's your grandson? These young men be loving me. I don't know why. I must look. Listen, my mama said to me the other day, and then we're gonna get into the meeting. My mama said to me, I said, Mom, I'm 34. And then my mom was like, you're 34? Well, you look like you're like 28. So I was just going off of what you look like. She's like, yeah, I'm not going to even claim your age because then I'm older. If you're older, I look older. Oh, your grandson 45? Is your grandson 45 or you 45? So anyway, guys, that's what I'm saying. When we're dealing with certain things, when a woman is older, she understands the game. So if she's doing everything you want quickly, fast, this, that, and the third, I'd be cautious. I just would be. Everything's right. Everything's perfect. Everything's this, everything. Oh, she's always sexual. She always wants this, that, and the third. Now there's sexual women. I'm not saying that they're not, but I will say they know the game. And so when they go with a younger man is like, oh, wow, this is amazing. She's cooking. She's doing this. She's doing that. She's, pop locking, dropping it on me quickly. And she always wanted and this, that, and the third. And she giving me all this energy. A younger man may not be able to discern like, okay, why is she doing all this so quickly? And is she doing this for other men? Because if I only known you for 2 weeks and you doing this in 2 weeks, then that means you probably doing this for other men as well. And if you're able to cut it off that quickly, you're probably a veteran at this point, because for most men that's her age, they ain't going for it. They gonna take advantage of that. Now, women love bomb too. Let's not play these games. Love bombing, it works, unfortunately. So anyway, okay, Urban Life, well, that's good. I like that. Hey, 45. So, guys, boundaries versus control. So I want you guys to really understand what we're doing when we talk about boundaries versus controlling. Boundaries versus controlling. Oh goodness. Okay. So guys, controlling versus boundaries. So a healthy boundary setting is a cornerstone of respectful, equitable relationships while controlling behavior erodes trust and autonomy. Okay, so boundaries is this. All right. A clear limit set based on our own needs. Boundaries are intrinsic. Boundaries are like, you're not going to talk to me that way. You're not going to disrespect me. You're not going to call me out of my name. That's coming from a place of that's internal. I'm not going to let you do that because that's how I feel about me. Control, or my ability to control you, is to exert power over what you do. It's not really about me. It's about what I can do to you. Okay. So when it's intrinsic, it means that there's just certain things that within me, have made a decision that I'm not going to deal with. Right? There's just certain things I'm just not going to do. You're not going to just talk to me any kind of way. There's just not certain ways you're going to treat me. There's just certain things I'm not going to do in my dating situation. It's not because I'm trying to control you. It's because I'm trying to protect me. Right? So for example, you guys, I talk about this a lot. I'm not one. I've talked about this. Dating, I don't think you should casually sleep with men. I just don't believe in that. I don't agree with it. And that's not because I'm trying to control the other man. I'm not going to control that man. That man can go swim as many seas as he wants to. You can come back to Sam. No, I'm playing. But I am saying that because I'm saying that and you do you, I'm not trying to control what you're doing. I'm trying to protect my heart because I know the way that I love. And the way that I love is if I'm connected to somebody in that way, I can't do it casually. It's just not, that's just not me. It's just not who I am. So I've got to protect my heart. I got to protect my heart. And so I'm not willing to just do that in that way. Right. And so I think that that's where really, when we talk about boundaries and control, it's where it's stemming from. Where is it stemming from? Where is that desire stemming from? Now, there are people, when we talk about controlling, it's, I've been in some situations. I've been in situations with people checking your phone. I've been in situations with people tracking your location, popping up on you. I've dealt with all of that in my past relationships. I will say that when it comes to boundaries, what I've always faced in relationships that I respected from the men that I was with was like, I'm not going to tolerate you talking to me any kind of way. And I get that. I'm not going, there may be just certain things they're just not, maybe they're like, I'm not going to, be feeling like I'm chasing you or whatever that may be for that man or for that woman. It's like, this is just something that I'm just not willing to do. I'm just not willing to do. And it's not about you. It's about me. Right? So it's protecting me. It's intrinsic. I'm protecting me. Now, controlling, and I've seen this as well, is where I am trying to, and I'm going to give you guys better definitions. Boundaries are directed inward and control is directed outward. So, being controlling. The goal of boundaries is to create limits around what safety relationships and interactions look like for us. Control is to make others do what you want them to do. Let me read that thing again. The goal of boundaries is to create limits around what safety, relationships, and interactions look like for us. Control is meant to make others do what you want them to do. Control is I'm trying to control your behavior. I'm trying to control your. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to control my shirt. Sorry. But control is more about trying to control it. I'm trying to, I don't want you to go there because if you go there, then you might cheat on me. I've seen that, you guys, and that is not healthy. I've seen it get to the extreme where a man can't go on a flight and sit next to a woman because the woman's so afraid of her man cheating on her that he was seated next to a woman. He didn't choose to sit there. He bought a ticket. He was seated next to a woman and she flipped out and made him change seats because she didn't feel comfortable about him sitting next to a woman on a flight. That's controlling. That's controlling. I've met men that say, I don't want a woman working out of the gym because I don't want her to be meet no other guy and then go back and cheat on me. That's controlling. That's controlling. When you try to control other people's behavior because of your own triggers, because of your own insecurities, and you're trying to make them dance along the soundtrack of all the insecurities and all the trigger points that you have, that is controlling. Boundaries is, I'm not willing to accept X, Y, and Z. I'm not willing for you to, you can't communicate with me like this. You can't, there's certain things I'm not willing to tolerate as far as, I don't know. I'm just coming up with different things. There's certain standards you may have. There's certain things there's just certain things. Those are intrinsic. It's about you. But when you're talking about somebody that you're dealing with and you're trying to say, oh, well, you can't drive that way home. You can't drive that way home. I'm not willing to let you drive that way home because I don't like that way home. That's controlling. And I've heard things like that. You can't, what is it? I'm trying to think of, you can't work at that place because there's females that work at that place with you. That's controlling. You can't be in that business anymore because it makes me feel uncomfortable. I see all these women, they look pretty and I don't like it. That's controlling. Where you're so afraid because of maybe it's things that you've done. And so your guilt is causing you to think that your person is cheating on you and doing X, Y, and the Z because you doing X, Y, and the Z. Well, that causes insecurities. Right? Or you doing it because of your own, the past. You're so afraid of the past repeating itself that you're controlling another human being to dance along the sounds of your insecurities. Well, my last person left me, so I'm gonna leave you before you leave me, or I'm gonna do things to make sure you don't leave me, and I'm never gonna be abandoned again. I'm never gonna be in that situation again. Okay, well now I'm doing things to control you because of the things that happened in my past. Boundaries is about you. Control is about others. And that is that. Now I've heard things like, oh, well, is it controlling when my boyfriend says he doesn't want me to wear that out? That's a great question. Here's my perspective. You want to ask me my perspective? Here's my perspective. If I'm in a relationship with someone, that's my man, right? He asking me, he's letting me know that there's maybe it's certain things I post. Maybe it's certain things I wear. Maybe whatever. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. It might be that. Or maybe it's I don't want you to go to the club with your girls at night. That makes me feel uncomfortable. There are limits. There are limits, right? And I'm going to get into that. I've always kept with the mentality of this. If I love somebody and there's something that I do that makes them feel insecure or makes them feel uncomfortable, if I'm posting something, let's say I'm posting something in a bikini, and my man is like, that's Sam, that's too much. You doing too much. I'm going to take it down. That's my man. Who cares what the world thinks? That's my man. That's my man. Now, I believe what I do here on this platform, when I believe what I do even, on all my platforms, is I share my perspectives, and I'm passionate about that. If I was to meet somebody and they said, no, shut your whole you got to shut it down. Don't do your purpose or what you feel is your purpose because it makes me feel insecure. That's controlling. I can understand saying, listen, there may be certain things that you do, maybe certain things I wear that make them feel uncomfortable. Maybe it's certain, whatever that might be. There may be ways to do it differently, I'm sure. But I'm not going to stop anybody from their purpose because it makes me feel uncomfortable. If somebody's purpose has them traveling, if somebody's purpose has them, not as available to me, that's their purpose. I'm not going to stop their dreams or their goals or them reaching whatever heights they can reach in their career because I'm insecure. No, that's what I got to have a conversation with me. And I wouldn't want nobody to be in my life that says that they love me and knows that there's something that God has put inside of me to impact the world in my own unique way. I would hate for someone to come into my life and try to control me, because I'm not going to be the happiest or the best version of myself if I'm not walking in purpose. Now, there may be ways to do it differently, and I'm open to that. But I think that there are certain things that I'm not going to do if it makes my man uncomfortable. It's just period. There might be people that maybe I follow now. That man may be like, I don't want you to follow him no more. I don't want you to follow him. I don't want you. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that makes you feel uncomfortable. I get it. I can see why he would make you feel uncomfortable. You know, or there might be people that, like, I remember, y'all, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I got married, there were people that you know, my husband at that time was like, he didn't want me to communicate with. I didn't. That's my man. I'm not going to. He wanted me to unfollow. I unfollow. That's my man. Certain things he may not want me to wear, I didn't wear. Certain places he didn't want me to go, I didn't go there. That was my man. And so at that time, if that's what my man wanted, I was going to do it, because that was my man. And if I say I love him and I want him in my life, and I feel like he's worthy of that, I've given him that position in my life. If my man comes in, if my next man come in, my future man come in, he says, Sam, I need you to do X, Y, and the Z. That's my man. And as long as he's not taking me away from purpose or where I feel like God has called me to do, I'm going to do it. Why? Because that's my man. That's my man. And I'm not going to allow what I do to cause him to, you know, as comfortable as I can make him feel. I'm gonna make him feel it. I'm not going to represent myself in a way where he can be made fun of. I know that when I represent me, I represent him. So if I'm out here and I'm looking like, you know, I'm advertising and everybody know I'm with him, I'm making him look dumb. Oh, yo, you see your girl out here? You see what she wearing, bro? Like, what's up with that? Or even if your mom might start following, or his mama may start following. Is that the balloons? It must be them daggone balloons. They like scratching. Just Ryan said she for the algorithm. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I think that we get very married to like, oh, this is who I am and this is what I'm always going to be and blah, 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 blah. No, there is a certain level of respect you have for the person that you with. There's a certain way that you conduct yourself, because at the end of the day, if you understand anything, you understand this. When I get with somebody at this point in my life, when I get with whoever I get with next, I understand that there's a responsibility that comes with that. And I have to represent myself in a certain way for him. And there's certain things that I've committed to myself that I'm going to be for him. Right? I'm always going to look good. You ain't never got to worry about me. I'm always going to have my foot on the gas pedal. I tell women to do that all the time. I'm going to be stepping in purpose. I am an ambitious woman, but I do understand order. I do understand divine order. And I'm not going to get out of order. I may have an opinion. I have a perspective. I feel like I'm an intelligent woman. I hope that you hear what I have to say. But ultimately, I understand order. So for me, that may look like controlling. Or for other people, that may look like controlling. For me, that's respect. For me, that's saying, this is the man I decided to be with. And because I decided to be with him, I decided to give him a certain order. I decided to give him a certain position because that's what I believe. And to you, that might be controlling, but that's my man. And if I truly love him and he truly loves me, there's going to be things that he may have to do differently to make me feel comfortable. Just like I'm going to have to do things differently to make him feel comfortable. That's order. That's what it takes. You can't just be so married to who you are and what you do that you don't understand that ultimately, y'all, at the end of all this, I don't care how much money you have. I don't care where you live in. I don't care what you're doing with your life. It gets very lonely. We were meant to be connected to other people. That's why we have a deep desire to be connected for genuine connection. So no matter where you are in life, no matter what type of situation you've got going on, you're going to want somebody in your life that you can trust and have a genuine, like, I feel safe here. I feel peace here. Now, we might not always be good, but you my person, and we going to rock this thing out. Everybody desires that. I desire that. At the end of the day, though, I don't look at that as controlling. I look at that as respect. I respect whoever I decide to be with. I respect that man. And I'll be, I'm not going to curse. I'm trying to find another word for the word I'm trying to say, but I'll be daggone if I choose the world and what the world wants me to do over what my person decides he wants me to do. I respect that, man. I'm not going to go. There's obviously certain things that I feel like God has put in my spirit to do. Right. And I feel like the man that God sends me isn't going to ask me to compromise whatever he's asked God has put inside me to do. But I do think that there's ways that I can compromise and tailor things and do things a little differently to respect the person that I'm with. Right? Especially if that's how they feel strongly. That's what they feel strongly about. And I think that's what true love does. Right? So that's my thing. And so I say with boundaries, like I said before, there is levels that I think that, boundaries can turn into what it seems like is controlling, right? It can be like, okay, well, if your man is telling you to not wear certain things outside and blah, 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 that is on some level controlling, right? Because I am now no longer, boundaries is what I'm willing to accept. Me trying to control your behavior is controlling, right? However, I pivot that, I caveat that, and I say this. I think that when it comes down to it, if it's not hurting you, if it's not taking anything away from you, if it's not taking you away from what you feel like God has purposed you to do on this planet, then what's the harm in doing something that makes somebody within reason? Because this can be a very gray area. Right? Because we can say, oh, well, I mean, he telling me that I can't drive on the left side of the street all the way home. Well, that's crazy. That's not reasonable. Oh, he told me I can't have no friends and I can't talk to my family. That's not reasonable. Right? But if we're being honest about certain things, maybe some of your friends ain't the best, if they out here and they live in a life a little bit differently and you trying to be a wife, but your friends out here hot girl summering it up, that would make any man feel uncomfortable. Just like you wouldn't want him to be out here with his friends, hot boy summering it up. There's within good reason. We also have to look at it like, if I want to be loved this way, then I have to love this way. If I want someone to be faithful to me, let me be faithful to them. If I want somebody to conduct themselves a certain way outside, then let me conduct myself the same way outside. But today's society is very much like, no, I want all this, and I do nothing. I want everything, you do nothing, or I do nothing. You give me the world, I give you nothing. And that's not fair. It's not fair. So yes, when we start to, I'm gonna read off some examples, you guys, um, because I think that it's important, and I've given some examples tonight, but I want to give you guys some more examples. So I don't know why it's like looking like that. Okay. Boundary is centered in care of self and community. Here's what I need from you to show up as best as I can. So, guys, I'm going to give you guys an example. When I'm in any type of dating situation, you guys, I don't do well with inconsistency. I just don't. It doesn't make me feel safe. It doesn't make me feel like this, it just doesn't do it. I'm very, today, I guess you call it traditional. I'm very much like, I like a man to play the man role. I just do. I like the man to play the man role. And I want to play the woman role. I am not gonna chase after you. I ain't gonna, run you down. I'm gonna let you do you. And if you come around, you come around. If you don't, you don't. It's okay. Then you ain't my person, and God's gonna send me something better. That's just how I look at it. But it's a standard I set for myself. In order for me to show up the best way that I can is to feel safe. And one thing I need to feel safe is consistency. It's consistency. And so if you're inconsistent, I don't feel safe, and I don't show up as the best. That's not an ultimatum. It's not an ultimatum, tribal. There's no ultimatum that's ever set. No, it's not a conversation. It's a Sam and Sam thing. Somebody, you were inconsistent, I walk away. It is what it is. And there we are. I'm going to give you what you give me. That's it. I'm not giving you more. I'm not giving you less. If you're consistent, I'll be consistent. If you this, I'm that. I'm going to meet your energy. I'm not going to supersede your energy. I'm going to meet you right here. Okay? So a lot of times there's people that want you to chase. I'm not chasing nobody. It's just not my thing. I could want you all day long. I could be thinking about you all night. I could be thinking Sam ain't gonna chase. I'm gonna tell the Lord at first. I'm gonna talk to Jesus. I'll be like, God, I like him, God. I like him so much. But you will never know. You will never know. Because in my perspective, it's like, I'm going to give you what you give me. And this dating world is different, y'all. It's different. We're all playing defense. We all want genuine connections, but none of us is like really ready to put ourselves out there like that. So for me, I give you what you give me. You call me, I call you back. You call me, I'm going to give you, we going to have a conversation. So that's just what it is for me. But I say that to say that's just a standard I have. So if you don't do it, it's cool. I'm good. It's fine. Somebody else will. It's fine. You ain't got to do it. It's cool. You might not be my person then. My person would understand that it's just how I am. And that's what you brings out the best of me. That makes me feel safe. I'm not afraid to say that I'm security seeking. Okay. But yeah. So that's what boundary centered in care of self and community. Here's what I need from you to show up as best I can. I gave you the example of consistency and inconsistency for me. The next thing for boundary seeks nuance and embraces imperfection. It's not possible for others to be everything I might need or want. Wow, that's good. Let me say that one again. It says seeks nuance and embraces imperfections, meaning that boundaries is I'm allowing the grace for someone to be human. Some of us say we're so stuck in our ways. We're so inflexible. Somebody said this to me and it resonates with me, man. They said that a sign of spiritual maturity is the ability to be flexible. Mental health, a sign of good mental health is someone being flexible, allowing for the nuances, allowing for the differences, allowing for those things that pop up that you may not understand, like how somebody shows up and maybe they don't do it perfectly, but somebody that's not flexible is somebody that may not have the best mental health. May not be, the spiritual maturity is still working. Okay? It's a sign of good mental health. Good, I look at as spiritual maturity, is understanding that we are imperfect beings and we allow the space and the grace for people to be imperfect. Right? So protects us from harm and abusive behavior. So a boundary is I'm protecting myself from harm and abusive behavior. I'm not going to let you talk to me like that. I'm not going to let you put your hands on me. There's just certain things I'm not going to allow. Certain treatment I'm not going to allow. Okay? So I'm not going to let somebody just sit here, hoop and holler at me and call me all kinds of names and all that. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do it. I listen, y'all, I will do it with women. I will do it with men. There's women that have come at me crazy and you will never hear from me. No, I'm not. I don't need, no. That's okay. I don't need friendship that bad that I'm going to tolerate a woman coming at me crazy. Just not going to do it. Okay. I want to, let me shout out the super chats. Jose Argueta, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you for the super sticker. Nikolai, as always, Nikolai. We love you over here, Nikolai. Thank you. Jose Argueta, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And last but not least, Nikolai doing what Nikolai does. Thank you, Nikolai. So again, you guys, I will say that somebody said Sam got hands. Y'all, I don't use my hands no more. I don't use hands no more. I don't use I'm just making sure, y'all, that there nobody in the super Cash App. I didn't want to miss anybody. I missed some super chats. Okay, so I got everybody in this Cash Apps. Okay. All right. Back to what I was saying. Apologies. So the next thing is that is not, I'm not going to say that one because I don't agree with that. Controlling behavior is centered in insecurity. It is centered in insecurity. That's what it's centered in. That is what control, like we said before, it tries to direct somebody else's behavior and have them tap dance along, walking on eggshells in order for you not to trigger them. No, that's controlling behavior. Boundaries is, I'm not going to let you talk to me like that. I'm not going to let you, do certain things to me. It's more about me. I'm not going to let you disrespect me. Right? There's a certain behavior that I perceive as disrespectful. It's a no-go. It's about me and how I feel about me. I'm not going to control you. You ain't going to do this to me. Right? But when I start trying to project and say, well, I don't want you going there. Well, I don't want you doing that. Well, I need you to call me when you get into the room at the hotel because I don't trust you. I need you to take a picture of the room that you're in because I don't trust you. I need for you to let me see your phone so I can check it every single day because my last boyfriend was always cheating on me and my last girlfriend was always cheating on me. So I need to see everything. I need to have your logins. That is me trying to control you. That is me. Because of my insecurities, I'm now trying to control what you do. Attempts to diminish the autonomy and the agency of others in the name of what's best for me. Y'all hear that? I'm not letting you have a freedom in our relationship. Micromanage, Lanaya. Nikolai sent us a super chat. Thank you, Nikolai. We love you, Nikolai. Micromanage is a great term. Micromanage is a great term, Lanaya. Great term. Thank you for sharing that. It is absolutely micromanaging. I am now trying to make sure you don't do certain things. So I'm going to stop you from going to certain places, doing certain things, posting this and that. Now, again, like I said, we already talked about before that I'm going to do things out of respect for my man. If it makes him feel uncomfortable, there's certain things I'm not going to do, right? So we already said that. But when you're trying to micromanage somebody to make sure that they don't hurt you because of how you've been hurt in the past, where someone has a tap dance because of your triggers that you have not worked on in a therapeutic setting, that is unfair. Now, I understand certain things you say to people like, hey, listen, I don't want you. I'm sorry, y'all. And this is to women because I'm a woman. The man's mad because you posting a picture and you half naked and your whole situation's out. That's your man. That's not unreasonable for him to say, I don't want you posting that. In fact, I think that that's a man. That's what men do. That's with any ounce of esteem he has, he ain't gonna want his girl to be looking like that, representing herself in that way, unless he's not really that serious about how far he wants the relationship to go. Unless the goal of the relationship is just you are a good looking woman, you got a nice body, and I just want to be with a woman with a nice body. I'm not really looking at this as my future wife, but a wifey, I'm gonna care how she represents herself. I am. I don't care what nobody says. A man's gonna care about how a woman represents herself. So I do not look at that as being controlling. I look at that as being a man that's mine. That's my woman. That's who I am with. And I care about her. And I don't want her to be seen as a HOE. I don't want my mama to be looking at her like, what is your girl posting? Did you see what your girl just, because y'all, if y'all know if men are close to their mama and they got a good relationship with their mother and they show their mother who they're talking to, because if they're close to their mom, they probably will. Mama's going to be like, I don't know about that one. I don't know if I take her seriously, son, because she kind of giving me a vibe, right? There's a certain way that a man wants his woman to be represented, so that when people see his woman, they ain't questioning his choice. They saying, bro, your girl is bad and she is smart, and man, you got a good one over there, boy, because she just, you know what I'm saying? She ain't posting like that. She ain't representing herself like that. Now, and that's what I think. I'm talking too much. Okay, back to what I was saying. So diminishing the autonomy and the agency of others in the name of what's best for me. Okay. Next is harms others and emotionally manipulates people into doing what we want when we want. Harms others and emotionally manipulates people into doing what we want when we want. Meaning I'm controlling you because I'm saying certain things or doing certain things to get you to do certain things. I'm gaslighting you. We're having an argument and I'm trying to make you focus on something else, so you're not focusing on my behavior. I'm projecting. So we're not really focused. I'm doing some stuff and I want you to be guilty for it. So my defense mechanism is projecting it on you. Well, you actually feel this way because I could tell by the way you look right now. No, that's how you feel, but you're putting that on me because you don't want to own it. You want to make it about me to make whatever you feel okay. Right? And so that's manipulation. When somebody is controlling, they manipulate variables to get what they want. Controlling is about, I want you to do what I want you to do. It's not about intrinsic. It's not about setting a boundary. It's about controlling someone else's behavior. impacting their autonomy, impacting their agency in order to get them to do what you want them to do, instead of working on the issues and the wounds that you need to work on so that you're not controlling. Last is, that person is my property and they answer to me. No human being is anyone's property. Sorry, y'all, I have it. Take my stuff. No one is anyone's property. No one. No one. Apologize, y'all, I had to. A headache situation, so I had to go ahead and give me my little headache stuff. So apologize, y'all. But again, it's one of those things, right? So we just have to understand. I hope that we have come to a certain place where, well, especially in this conversation, where we have an understanding of what controlling and boundaries are. And again, I think healthy boundaries are key. I think it's very, very important. There's just certain things that you're just not going to do. Like I've said this a lot on my platform. I'm not going to chase after a man. Unless I did something wrong in a relationship, I feel like I got to apologize. I'm not chasing after no man. It's not. I feel like if I got to chase you or anything like that, then you're not my man. That's how I look at it. There's certain ways I'm not going to be talked to. You know, I got on a conversation. Travel, please. Ain't nobody about to Ain't nobody about to pursue no man. Travel think he funny over there. No. Shout out to Tribal in the chat. No. God gonna tell, I believe this, y'all, and I might be crazy, but this is how I feel. God gonna tell my man how to pursue me. That's how I feel like. I think God is gonna tell him, you know what? He gonna whisper in his ears, Sam just needs a little, you know. And he gonna be like, okay, God, thanks for putting me on game. You know your girl. Yeah, she a little funny, but just she a good one. Just let her, just let her know that you know. No, I don't have somebody that's shy. I'm not talking to nobody like that, y'all. Okay, so there's not you're a guy. We're not gonna start that rumor. I'm saying in general. In general, we talking in general, family. So anyway, so I do we have the understanding? But before we move on, before I answer some questions, yeah, because Steven, you over there, you about to start a rumor talking about maybe your guy is shy. I don't know. There is no guy. Okay, we're talking about in general. All right, guys. So I think that we have covered the boundaries versus controlling. Okay, I think. Do y'all feel like you have a good understanding of what that is? If you could put a 1 in the chat, I would love to see that. I would love to see a 1 in the chat. And then I'm going to answer a question before my mamas gets here, y'all. Y'all already know when my mamas gets here. When my mama gets here, that's when the mama got to get off. All right, y'all. So it looks like there's 1s in the chat. 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 I will check the chat, the Cash App as well before I move on. Oh, somebody. I knew okay. Oh my goodness. Eric Lloyd, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Y'all just be doing so y'all be so good to me. I just love y'all. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and heart everything. Heart, 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 heart. Heart, heart. Love you guys. Thank you guys. Okay, so we got it. So guys, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna answer two questions. Two questions before we head out of here tonight. Your man having girls that are friends. The question is, your man having girls that are friends. That wasn't a question. I'm sure she's saying, thank you, Steven. I appreciate that. Your man having girls that are friends. If he hasn't slept with them, now I'm sorry, you guys, unless the ex was like years ago, I'm not gonna be okay with my man having female friends that he done slept with. That's just me. That's a me thing. But I'm okay. I have men that are strictly platonic friends. I have men that are strictly platonic friends. I don't think that it's unusual. I think that there's a level to which they communicate with their friends. Like if this is my man and we supposed to be rocking together, you know, I want him to be able to communicate with me. And I hopefully am creating a safe space for him to communicate with me so he doesn't feel like he needs to talk to his friends, right? However, if he's had a friend and that friend's been there for a minute, I'm not going to ask him to cut off his friends, but I think that there's a certain level of, you know, you shouldn't be talking to your female friend every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a certain level to where it is, but I feel like that's a no-go. No, I don't think it's a no-go. I don't think it's a no-go. I feel like men and women can genuinely be friends. I think that that's possible. Because I definitely have male friends. And there's never been anything romantic between us. We could just talk, right? I think that I really believe that. So so somebody asked me, how do you love again without having past relationship mess with your current or future relationship? Here's the thing. If you feel like because of, it depends on where the mess is coming from. If you are not removed enough from your past to be able to have a relationship, you're not ready for a relationship. Okay. Some of us prematurely look for relationships. And guys, I'm going to tell you some real stuff. When you first get out of a relationship, you want to get back in one. When you first get out of a relationship, you want to get back in one. And then once you get comfortable, give yourself about 3 months of being single. After that 3-month period, you're going to be fine. You don't want to be single no more. I mean, you don't want to be in a relationship like that no more. You have to, it's almost like a withdrawal. You have to get that out of your system. Some of people, they just want to jump right back into a relationship. They just want to get back to talking to somebody. They just want to get that companionship. Once you get used to being alone, you cool. You like, okay. You know, and now when you are ready to jump back in, when you are ready to find somebody in that time, you'll be able to look from a better perspective, not what I call a hungry perspective. When we're looking from a hungry set of eyes, we're not looking well. We're looking from, oh, I just want somebody to fill in this space. I just want somebody. I'm not really discerning. I'm not really getting the person that I want because I can't really give the person that I want what they would want. So I'm just getting somebody to fill in the space because I don't have the energy to pursue what I would really want. Just take some time to be by yourself. Honestly, get used to it. You, of course, will eventually desire the companionship again, but you're not going to be from the perspective of, I just want somebody, right? You're going to be from a perspective of, okay, this has to be right. Like I've gotten good with being by myself so that I'm not just trying to fill in the space with someone. It's got to be the right person because I'm okay with being with me, right? I'm okay with that. So that's my perspective. So it, again, to answer your question, it says, how do you love again without having the past relationship mess with your current or future relationship? You need to heal them. If you feel like the past or anything in the past can impact your future, then get out. What are we doing? You're not ready to date yet. If you feel like your past, because of your experiences, because of how your heart was broken, will impact your ability to have a relationship in the future, you haven't spent enough time alone. You haven't spent enough time really healing from the things that have hurt you. So what's the surefire way? What's the one way to heal? Get into some therapy, y'all. I did a commercial on BetterHelp. Shout out to BetterHelp. You could do it from the comfort of your own home. No one has to know. They have sliding scale fee sessions. I have a discount code in another YouTube video. Get you some therapy and truly heal from this thing. Because I'll tell you what, a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm gonna heal on my own." I will say this: a therapist will ask you questions. Let me do this example. When trauma happens in our life, you guys, think of your brain like a room, like your bedroom, right? When trauma happens, it's almost like your brain, in an effort to clean up your room, is throwing things in the closet or throwing things under the bed. Throwing things under bread, throwing things in the closet. They're not really putting things in the right cabinet. In order for your brain to function at its highest capacity, it needs things to be filed in the best way. Just like in order for you to find the t-shirt you want to wear or to find the shoes you want to wear, your room has to be organized in order for you to find the things you need to find. When you're dealing with trauma, like a breakup, and you haven't gone through the appropriate steps of healing, you're just throwing something in the closet. The closet is not clean. The room looks clean, but the room is not actually clean because you just threw something away. Your brain does not know how to file it. When you talk to a therapist is trained to ask you specific questions to help you to file it in the right cabinet, because everything in your brain is like a schema. There's parts of your brain that hold certain things, certain key things for your functioning. And if I have trauma's just going to be right here. And your brain's going to try to throw it in different areas. And so now you may feel like you're normal. You may feel like you're doing things the right way. You may feel like you're functioning at optimal capacity because you're showing up to work every day and you're doing whatever. But you're not. And a therapist who is trained will be able to help you say, okay, I see this trauma. Let me ask you this question so your brain knows how to file it. Because if your brain has never experienced that type of trauma, it doesn't know where to put it. It just throws it in the closet or throws it over here. And so maybe your eating's been impacted. Maybe, I don't know what, maybe the way you do your work, your ability to concentrate, just different things. Your brain doesn't know where to put it. So it's just putting it in everywhere. And you have no idea because you're only dealing with you. But another set of eyes will be like, there's something that needs to be filed in the right cabinet here. There's something that needs to be put in the right place because you think you're doing well. You think you're handling this well. And on all intents and purposes, you might be. But I know as a therapist, this is impacting you. So let's work together to file it in the right cabinet so that you can function at your highest capacity. Okay? So that's that. Somebody asked me this, and I just thought it was a funny question. Does being beautiful make your life easier or harder than people think? Does being beautiful make your life harder or easier than people think? I think it does a little bit of both. I think there's certain things where it could be easier, but I think on certain things, especially the way I want to be perceived, I want to be perceived as somebody that's intelligent and has something of quality to say. Um, I think it can be harder because people kind of put you in a box. I get put in a box a lot. This is what you this is what this is what you want, or this is what this is, or even assumptions in dating. Like, there's people that be like, oh, I bet there's so many people that do this or this, that, you get a lot of assumptions. You get a lot of assumptions, people like to put you in a box. And I think that I feel like I have a lot of things I want to share with the world. And sometimes it can be a little tough because people have perceptions of who I am based upon what I look like. I remember one time I opened my mouth and I shared my perspective one time, and somebody said to me, oh my gosh, that's how you sound? I thought you would sound like different. Like your voice doesn't match the way you look. So, I mean, so I would say it may be a little hard. And yeah, to Pam's perspective, sometimes you do get downplayed, like, oh, well, you just got that because you pretty. Like, I've had that on this platform. You grew so fast because you pretty. You did it. It's like, dang, it's not because I'm, I got something with quality to say. I'm not sharing something, that's resonates with people. I don't know. So that's that. Somebody said, why won't God take someone out of your heart? I think a lot of times I've heard this question with people, and I'm going to end on this one. Why won't God take someone out of your heart? I learned this the hard way. And I hope you guys learn this so you don't have to learn the hard way. A lot of times the reason why we're so connected to our past or to things that we know is not God's best for us is that there's a part of us that has hope. And we haven't, sometimes hope for your past has to die. It just does. And until we put to death the version of us that had hope for that relationship, we stay connected to it. And we stay connected to it. And sometimes it takes us having to not have hope for it to get better, not for us to hope that it's going to be something different, really taking it for exactly what it is. I had to, I don't know how to say this any other way, but I had to KILL hope for that particular situation. And as it's situations moving forward in my life where it was like, you know what, that's not it. And I had to say, I'm not going to wait. We have two choices in life. We can either be patient for the process or proceed with our peace. We can be patient for their process or proceed with their peace, or proceed with our peace. There's been times where I've been patient for the process. And there's been times where I have had to proceed with my peace, but in order for me to proceed with my peace, I have to let go of hope. And I think hope of what we wanted things to be. We're really breaking up with the idea of how we wanted things to go, where we wanted this relationship to be, who we wanted this person to be. Those thoughts of like, and hope is like, well, maybe they can change. Well, maybe they can be something different. Well, maybe this can work out. Well, maybe we could get back on the right page. Well, maybe those maybes, those what ifs, that's what keeps us tied. So sometimes it's us letting go of the potential of what could be and just accepting it for exactly what it is, and putting to death the thoughts of the potential, the thoughts of the what if it could be this, what if they could change, what if they could be. It's like, no, maybe the answer to the prayer is their behavior now. Maybe I'm asking God to change this person, and them not changing is God's response. maybe my circumstances now is an indication of exactly what God wants me to receive from the situation. And maybe I need to practice acceptance and not hoping for something that God has already been done with. I'm going to leave you guys with a story from the Bible where, the prophet the prophet Samuel had anointed Saul to be king. And Saul started acting out, and he was anointed, but he chose his own way. He was selfish. He exalted himself. He ran his kingdom with a lot of insecurity. And so God decided to anoint another king, King David, because King Saul, God found he could not trust him with the leadership or continuing to be the leader. And so in that story, Samuel goes through a whole process of being sad about Saul not coming together and thinking that God, I just anointed Saul and I don't want to anoint another king. I'm good with Saul. And he was mourning that. And God said, when are you going to let go of what I let go? Like at this point, I've told you, you've seen what's going on. You know Saul ain't acting right. You telling me what Saul doing. You're correcting Saul on my behalf. You see that I've anointed him king and he's been irresponsible. And now get over it, Samuel. I've anointed a new king. A king whose heart that I can trust. When are you going to let go of? When are you going to let go of what I've already been done with? I gotta find the verse. God to Samuel verse. Oh, yes, here we go. 1 Samuel 16:1. It says, the Lord said to Samuel, how long are you going to mourn for Saul since I have rejected him over king? Reject him as king over Israel. Fill your horn with oil and go. I will send thee to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king amongst his sons. And the Lord said to Samuel, how long will you mourn? How long will you grieve for Saul when I have rejected him as king over Israel? Some of us were not accepting that God has rejected the person that you desire. And he's saying to you, how long will you mourn for what I have rejected? How long will you mourn? How long will you stay connected to the very thing that I've told you is not for you? How long will you mourn? And some of you guys have decided to mourn something, to continue on something that God is saying, I've already rejected them as your king. I've already rejected them as your queen. I've already told you this ain't going to work. I've shown you in so many different ways that this is not the relationship for you. How long will you mourn it? How long will you hold on to it? How long will you keep making this dead relationship work? How long will you stay married and connected and miserable instead of just accepting that I've rejected this man as your king, as the king? How long will you mourn? How long? How long will you mourn? And so sometimes a lot of us just have to confront ourselves to the fact that it's not God. It is not God who won't take somebody out of your heart. It is you keeping their memory alive. It is you who's allowed hope to infiltrate your heart for something better. And God's saying, you can stay connected to this if you want to. You can stay in this dead relationship if you want to. You can stay where you're comfortable if you want to. You can stay right here. How long will you mourn what I have rejected for you? How long will you mourn? How long will you mourn? And that's your choice. Because God has shown us in the Bible Now listen, he anointed Saul as king. He anointed Saul as king. But Saul had free will. And Saul chose to go a different way. And because of Saul's choices, God had to go in a different direction. He anointed Saul as king. Saul had free will. Saul decided to go a different way. And now he had to go in a different direction. And so we asked Samuel, listen, you see what's going on with Saul. I see what's going on with Saul. You telling me what he's saying. How long will you mourn what I have rejected? Some of us, y'all, and this come up in my spirit. Isaiah 43:18. Isaiah 43:18. Let's go into it. Let's go into it. Ooh, y'all, we flowing tonight, y'all. This is not an and Isaiah 43:18. Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I'm making a way in the wilderness. I'm making streams in the desert. God is saying this. God is saying this. First off, how long will you mourn it? I'm not telling you to stay stuck on your past. I'm not telling you to revisit what happened, what didn't, what they did do, what they didn't do, how they did this, how they didn't do that. He says, no, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. I'm asking you to forget it. I'm asking you not to remember it, because you being so stuck on your past, you don't even see that I'm doing a new thing. Some people, they laugh at me when I say, I'm going to let this go because I know God's good and God's going to provide something else. But I trust God. Woo, stop. I trust God. I don't stay stuck in nothing. If God is telling me to move, I'm going to move. Why? Because I trust him. I'm not looking at the world with scarcity mentality. I look at the world that I serve a God that does exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ever ask, think, or imagine. I know a God that says, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, mind can't even conceive all the things that God has planned for you. I know that there's a God that can do bigger and better than anyone ever could. I know a God that created people. And if I believe that God creates people, guess what? I know that he can bring somebody else that's going to do right by me. I know that he's going to bring somebody that's going to love me the right way, pursue my heart in the right way. If I truly believe God the way I say I do, I'm not going to walk in this world and walk under the comfortability of what everybody tells me to do. I know that I serve a God that if he decides he going to send King David going to come. Hell or high water, can't nobody stop my God. He said, forget the former things. Do not dwell in the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Do not perceive it. I'm making a way in the wilderness. I'm making springs up in the desert. I'm doing something new in this season. But you so stuck on the past. You can't let go. You are still mourning over what I've already rejected. You are. That's what you're doing. The lights turn green. But you're still stuck at the light, looking at the past, looking at what they just posted. No, I've turned the light green. It's time for us to move, baby. Because the past is just the past. I can do better than that. I can do better than that. You think I'm limited to what I've already done? Look what I'm about to do, but you can't even see it because you haven't forgotten the past. And you're so afraid of moving from your comfort zone. You'd rather be miserable in your comfort zone than to decide to do something different and decide to allow me to do something different in your life. He said this, God said to Samuel, how long will you mourn what I've rejected? How long will you stay stuck in that relationship? How long will you keep mourning the past? How long will you keep saying, oh, this could have happened, or this could have, would have, should have? I don't care what happened. In order for me to do what I need to do in your life, you need to forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Do you not perceive it? I'm making a way in the wilderness. I'm making streams in the desert. That's what I'm doing. But you won't even see it, because he says in that verse, Do you not perceive it? Why don't you perceive it? Because I'm so stuck on the past. I'm so stuck on my comfort zone. I'm so stuck on what's familiar. I'm so stuck. I'm so stuck on what it should be. I'm so stuck. So I'm going to ask y'all, how long will you mourn what I've rejected? That's what God's asking you. God isn't keeping them in your heart. You are. God isn't making it hard for you to move on from your past. You are. So I'm going to ask you this. How long will you mourn? God has anointed somebody else to play that role for you. God has anointed another woman, another man to be that role for you. Maybe the person that he anointed the first time had free will and they chose to go a different way. Okay. But I can't turn the light green and you still stuck over here. I can't turn the light green and you acting like it's red. No, I turned to green. How long will you mourn what I've rejected? 1 Samuel 16:1. Isaiah 43, 18 through 19. Forget the past. Do not dwell on the former things. See, I am doing a new thing. Do you not perceive it? I'm making a way in the wilderness. I'm creating streams in the desert. In the desert. All right, y'all. I did not expect us to go there tonight. I did not expect us to go there tonight. But, God, somebody's probably going to watch this. It's going to bless somebody. So I'm going to believe that God is going to do something with that. But I love y'all. I thank you guys for being faithful and watching me all the way through. Thank you, Lanaya. Look, you already know, Lanaya. You've been watching me for a while. You know I could get up in there. Your girl can jump spiritual on you real quick. You know what I'm saying? You can't limit your girl. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for everything tonight. Go ahead, comment below. I want to hear what your thoughts. I want to hear what your favorite parts were in this. And then also let me know what you want me to talk about. I won't be on next week, but I will be on the week after that. Okay. I love you guys. Y'all have an amazing night. And I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye. You know what, guys? Just another thought. Maybe that's why God didn't want me to come on. Maybe that's why God gave me so many issues jumping on the live tonight. Maybe he knew that something was going to be said tonight that was going to set somebody free. Maybe the enemy knew that if he was going to frustrate me enough, I wouldn't complete the assignment God had for me. Look at God. All right, you guys. Let you guys go. Good night.